Okay, so today I'm going to do a beef stew. It's just going to be a basic beef stew, just something that I can make that of stuff I have around the house. Nothing spectacular. So what I'm going to do is, you can use whatever kind of potatoes you like. You can use the Idaho spuds that you choose, or any spuds you choose. Don't have to be Idaho. I like the red potatoes. So I have 2 cups of red potatoes, 1 cup of carrots, 1 cup of onions. Well, actually, yeah, it was 1 cup of onions and ½ a cup of asparagus, all cut up here. And I'm just going to add that into my crock pot with about 1/4 to 1/3 a cup of water. And then I will let that cook for a little bit. And then in a little bit, I will check on it. And we will go ahead and take the stewing beef. I've got stewing beef and stewing pork. So I'm going to take both. I'm going to cook the beef first. And I'll just fry it up in my frying pan. And then I'm going to add it into the crock pot. Then I'll do the same thing with the pork. And we'll go ahead and take it from there. So, see you guys in a minute. Okay, so I took 1 ear of corn and just cut the corn off the cob and added that to the water and vegetables. I just stir it every now and then. We'll be adding more water and some meat and other stuff in a little bit. Stay tuned. So we're going to go ahead and we've got the pan sprayed here with this spray. You can use olive oils and stuff like that if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and start with the stewing pork first. So give me a second. Get you guys set up here. All set up. I'm going to go ahead and add the stewing pork. I've already washed my hands, and these are big chunks. I will probably cut them up later into smaller pieces, maybe before I even start to cook them. I don't know. Because they're bigger chunks, I'll probably cut them up into smaller pieces. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Usually I would do this on my cutting board, but I'm not going to pull the meat out when I do that again. So I'm just going to do it in the pan and kind of manhandle it. Ow. This knife is so lame. There we go. I want some of these to be smaller and some of them to be bigger, so I might leave some big pieces. I'll leave 2 or 3 of them big. And cut them in half. This one in half. So that's pretty big. Make sure this pork is cooked really well. I'm very, very careful about sanitizing. Don't need E. coli or salmonella. I'm washing my hands now. And got the Clorox cleaning wipes. And sanitize the sink that I just touched and the soap I just touched. And everywhere meat's touched. Because if you don't know about certain illnesses you can get from meat not being cooked properly or being thawed incorrectly, it's very serious. I took a food safety manager's class, and after learning what I learned in that class, there's no chances whatsoever when it comes to my meat. I'd rather eat burnt meat than raw meat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on the oven, or the burner. The oven's not going to be a part of it, so burner. Alright, move it to the small burner in the back. And I'm going to let it start to sizzle. I've got it on medium heat. I'm going to pepper it. I love my pepper. Just do it as it tastes to you. A light bit of salt there. Got some onion powder. And some garlic powder. Then I also have a little bit of chili powder I'm going to add. Not a lot, just a little. And I have some salt-free seasoned salt. Well, seasonal, sorry, not seasoned salt. Salt-free seasonal. Or you can use meat tenderizer if you'd like. And then the last thing I'm going to do is this poultry and beef pork seasoning. It's a Kentucky seasoning. It's all natural spice blends. Right here. It has salt, sugar, paprika, pepper, basil, sage, thyme, rosemary, cayenne pepper, parsley, garlic, onion, red bell pepper, and that looks about all that's in this. I'm just going to sprinkle a bit of that. Now, we're going to let that start to cook. As it starts to cook, we're going to let it brown, stirring it. I'll keep you guys updated on that. I was thinking of some other ways we could do this. If you'd like, you can do chicken instead and have like a chicken stew. But I'm not really, I don't, to my kids, I don't call it stew. I call it soup because they don't like stew. For some reason, it tastes the same. Anyways, so you can add noodles to this if you'd like, but you can do just the basic stuff for the crock pot. I've got the onions, the carrots. I decided to add some, oh, and I've got the potatoes. I decided to add some corn. This is fresh corn off the cob, and I also had put some asparagus in here. You can do celery. My family, besides me, doesn't like celery, and so I avoid putting celery in it because otherwise I'd be the only one eating it. I'm going to go ahead and sit you guys down for a minute. Okay, it's starting to warm up on the stove now. So we're just going to let it sit and cook for a second. As I was saying, you could do this as a chicken stew, and instead of doing beef gravy or a pork gravy or a vegetable gravy, you could do a country gravy. some people, when it comes to the sauce of beef stew, will make their own with flour and the seasonings and bouillon cubes that they want to use. Me, I'm going to make it a little different. I'm going to add some chicken bouillon cubes, and I'm going to add gravy, brown gravy packets. So that's how I'm going to make my sauce, because I prefer to have the brown gravy. Where is it? I just moved into this house and I've not learned where everybody's putting stuff. So bear with me as I look for my gravy. Gravy. What cupboard did you guys put gravy in? Do you even know? Kids? Bear with me one moment. Okay, all right, found the gravy. So I'm gonna add a few of these brown gravies to it, and we'll go ahead and see how it does then. I'm gonna go check on the meat now. Like I said, I'll be doing pork and beef. So it's starting to brown a bit. Still has a ways to go. Me, I like to brown it a little bit more than other people, because like I said, I'm very cautious when it comes to the meat. I don't want to have food poisoning, and I don't want my family to have food poisoning. So I'm very cautious when it comes to meat. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit more to a 6. And we'll let that cook. And I will show you guys the outcome in a moment. So I've stirred the meat a few times. It's cooking pretty well. You just need to lightly brown it. I prefer my meat cooked well, like I've said before. So I'm going to go ahead and let it cook for a little bit longer. I've cut the meat into smaller pieces some more. That way it will cook thoroughly. While that finishes up, I'm going to check on the potatoes and other vegetables. They're really soft, so they're ready to go. It's not going to take long for this recipe after I get the meat done. Yay! Meat looks pretty well done. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to the potatoes and vegetables. I don't want any cross-contamination, so I will go ahead and wash this pan now and just reuse this pan. Saves on dishes. So I'm going to go ahead and use hot water, some soap, and I'll wash it. Okay, so that's washed. I'm going to go ahead and stir this up and mix it up pretty good. I will be adding more water here. Alright, got a cup, 1 cup measuring cup. And I'm going to go ahead and add some water. Rinsing it out. I'm going to use some purified water from the fridge. You don't have to, but I do. And there's 1 cup. I'm going to add a cup of water and add 1 more cup. There we go. All right, I'm going to turn it back on to high. Stir it a little bit. Get that down there. Cover up as much of it, the meat as you can with the water. All right. Let that sit. I'm going to come over to the meat that I've already added over here. This is the beef. And I'm just going to break up this beef stew meat and let it start to brown. Okay, so it started to brown a bit. Now that it's done that, I'm going to go ahead and add some seasonings. I've got onion powder, a little bit of salt, some pepper, and that same mixture of seasonings. I've mentioned it before. There's the lid. There it is. I'm also going to add garlic powder. And this time, I'm going to add steak seasoning. I know that sounds strange, but the steak seasoning on the beef helps to bring out the flavor. Okay, let that brown some more. While the meat's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and come on over to the mixture. Cover the vegetables and the pork. I'm going to start to add brown gravy. Some more brown gravy. Got two different kinds here. There we go. I'll go ahead and stir that. Mix it that gravy powder in really well. So let's see, it is a total of 4 ounces of gravy powder. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do the bouillon cubes, which again I am using the chicken herb and spice. I'm using the last 2 cubes I have. You can add more if you like. It's just to give it a little extra kick, some extra flavor. I'm deciding on if I want to add noodles to my soup mix here, or if I would like to just leave it without. I'm debating on that. We'll figure that out here soon. Like I said, this isn't really a write-down recipe that I wrote down. I'm just going off the top of my head, getting this stuff. These are really close tight. I didn't want to get this chicken bouillon cube out. There we go. But yeah, just using stuff around the house that I have. Like I said, I just moved in here. Don't have many groceries yet. So, there we go. Just using what I have around here. I have made stuff like this before. I call them my throw together meals, or my experiment meals. Kind of like I did this morning, an experiment frappuccino that kind of turned into more of an iced coffee. Still, it was delicious, people. And I'm back over at the meat. I'm gonna sit you guys down so I can go ahead and stir the meat up a bit. It is still on number 6 on the heat of the burner. Oops. Well, I'll have to clean that up now. But I'm going to let it cook. I don't want any of the pink to be showing, because Like I said, I'm very cautious about meat and how well it's cooked. All right, give it a few minutes. Okay, so you can see that the meat is starting to brown pretty well. There's still a few pieces that has a little red tint to it, so I'm just going to let it cook a little bit longer, but I guess you could take it out at this moment and put it in the other stewing ingredients. Let's go check on our other ingredients. Gravy is starting to thicken. Let me turn on the light. There we go. The bouillon cubes have already melted and been broken up into here. I think if you did add a noodle to this, you could add egg noodles, you could add the shell noodles, the little tiny ones, and it could turn into kind of a stew and a soup, and I guess you would call stroganoff if you wanted to. You could add some sour cream if you wanted to make a stroganoff stew. But I think I will cook some of the little shell noodles and add those in as soon as the beef is done. And then we will go ahead and take it from there. See you guys in a minute. Meat is done. All brown. We'll go ahead and add that to our stew in the crock pot. We'll go ahead and mix this in. I've decided not to do the noodles. Just have a beefy type of stewing soup. I would call it soup for my kids, but I will call it stew for you. Now we just let it simmer on low for a little while. I'm going to add a little bit water as needed so it doesn't thicken too much or burn to the sides. So go ahead and do it as needed if you're going to go ahead and try to make this. Just little bits here and there. I wouldn't add too much at a time, maybe a third or fourth of a cup at a time. And then when your family's ready to eat, scoop it up into a bowl, serve with rolls and butter, and you're all set. Thanks for joining me for this stew experiment. I have done it before, like I said, so I knew what I was doing, but not quite sure on if I wanted to add noodles or not. So, all right, we'll talk to you all later. Thank you for joining me. See ya.